At a heavily guarded cemetery in St. Petersburg, 14 portraits are staked in the earth next to freshly dug graves. Every portrait shows the face of a decorated Russian naval officer, and 7 of them were captains of the first rank. They were buried as heroes with full state honors, but the real story of their final moments, and the top-secret mission that cost them their lives, was deliberately buried right alongside them. In a way, they attended a ceremony that honored their sacrifice but was designed to hide the truth. This is the story of the men who, symbolically, listened to their own funeral. Deep beneath the waves of the Arctic, Russia operates a ghost, not a spirit, but a machine of metal and secrets. A deep-diving nuclear submersible called the AS-31, better known as Losharik. It's named after a Soviet-era cartoon horse made of spheres, which is a strange name for a piece of hardware this important, but it's also a clue to its design. The Losharik is built from a series of interconnected titanium spheres, which allows it to withstand the crushing pressures of extreme depths. While some reports claim it can reach a staggering 6,000 meters, more conservative estimates place its operational depth around 2,000 to 3,000 meters, still far deeper than most military submarines can go. This isn't your ordinary sub. It's a special projects vessel run by a shadowy branch of the Russian Ministry of Defense, known as GUGI, the main directorate of deep-sea research. Its crew aren't just sailors, they're hydronauts, an elite corps of undersea specialists. The 14 men who died in the 2019 fire were all officers, a testament to the highly specialized nature of the unit. Their missions are a state secret, but it's widely believed they involve tasks like tapping undersea communication cables, installing seabed sensors, and giving Russia the ability to operate on the deep ocean floor. The Losharik is something of a parasite. It's carried to its operational area attached to the belly of a much larger mother submarine, detaching to carry out its clandestine work in total darkness. On July 1, 2019, while operating in the Barents Sea, that clandestine work turned into a disaster. The Russian Ministry of Defense later claimed the sub was just performing bathymetric measurements, mapping the seafloor. But then a fire broke out. The blaze started in the battery compartment, a known vulnerability on submarines, even nuclear-powered ones. Inside the cramped spherical compartments, toxic smoke quickly filled the air. 14 crew members were trapped. According to the official narrative released by Russia, the men acted heroically. They reportedly sealed the hatch to the burning compartment to protect the rest of the vessel and its nuclear reactor. The official story also mentions that they fought to save a civilian specialist who was on board, using up all their breathing equipment in the process. In the end, all 14 men died not from the flames, but from inhaling the poisonous fumes. Their final moments were portrayed as an act of ultimate sacrifice. The stories of sailors who sacrifice everything in the face of disaster deserve to be remembered and understood. If you agree, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel to help us continue bringing these vital stories to light. In the immediate aftermath, a wall of silence went up. The Russian government didn't even acknowledge the incident for over a day. When they finally did, the statements were vague, referring only to a fire on a deep-sea research vessel without ever naming the Losharik. The submarine's true purpose and its mission were classified as a state secret. President Vladimir Putin posthumously awarded the 14 men the nation's highest honors, calling them highly professional and their deaths a big loss. This led to the state funeral. Grieving families and high-ranking officials gathered, but the ceremony was closed to the media. It was a carefully managed piece of state theater. The men were mourned as the heroes they were, but the context of their heroism was completely erased. And this is the heart of the tragedy. The funeral praised their bravery, but didn't and couldn't explain the secret world they died to protect. It was a service that honored their memory while bearing the truth of their final mission. In this symbolic sense, the crew was forced to listen to a version of their own story that was hollowed out, their true purpose hidden from the very world they died serving. To underscore the point, they were buried in the Serafimovskoye Cemetery, near the memorial for the 118 sailors lost in the Kursk submarine disaster of 2000, linking them forever in Russia's painful legacy of undersea tragedies. The Losharik itself was salvaged, badly damaged, but with its titanium hull intact, it was towed back to the naval base at Severomorsk. It sat in dry dock for years, but reports from 2024 suggest that major repairs are underway or nearing completion, with Russia planning to conduct sea trials and return it to service. The incident is a chilling reminder of the immense risks of the shadowy world of deep-sea military operations. It echoes the Kursk disaster, where official secrecy and delayed information compounded a national tragedy. The story of the Losharik is one of incredible bravery, but it's also a story about the price of state secrets and the human cost of a new Cold War being waged in the crushing darkness of the ocean abyss. 14 of Russia's most decorated naval officers died in a fire aboard one of the world's most advanced spy submarines. They died as heroes, saving their vessel from a potential nuclear catastrophe. Yet their story was immediately wrapped in a fog of state secrecy. Their funeral praised their sacrifice while concealing its true nature. The questions surrounding their final mission may never be fully answered. What exactly were they doing in the deep? And what secrets were worth such a terrible price? Thank you for watching. If you have any thoughts on this incident, please share them respectfully in the comments below. And for more stories from the hidden corners of history, don't forget to like and subscribe.